Did you know that you can make your own scenic material using just some sponges and some paint? Well, we're going to try 4 different sponge materials to see which one works best for which application. Let's get into it. Big thank you to trains.com for their support of this video. You can get $10 off your order of $50 or more by using the promo code JimmyDIY. You can also use the link in the description. In order to do this, we're going to need some materials, and the first material we're going to be using is different spongy materials. Now we have a couple different ones right here, a couple different chunks that I have right here. And basically we have a more natural sea sponge. This is more of an artist sponge right here. It's very inflexible, it's kind of dried out. And then we have the more manufactured synthetic sponge right here. And then we have a slightly more organic but still mostly manufactured sponge right here. And then we have the little makeup sponges. Now the tool we're going to be using to get these all down to the consistency that we need is a coffee grinder. This is a very cheap, I think it's like a $10 coffee grinder, and these are actually amazing for getting these kind of materials that you're going to make yourself. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with the synthetic sponge because that's the easiest one to do, but we're going to show you how we do that. When you're looking at a coffee grinder, basically, you can see I've already grinded some stuff up in here, but basically you just got a blade in there, and this is designed to shred coffee beans so that you can have your nice coffee grounds. But basically, these things won't turn on unless you get that button pressed right there. So we're going to take, first of all, we're going to start off with this sponge, and you really want to go ahead and do a few chunks like this. Now, you've seen me do this with a blender before, but I really like this method a lot better. So let's go ahead and we're going to go and put that down, and then if you never use a coffee grinder, usually they have a button like this and you just press. And you get a pretty good consistency. And you want to shake it up just a little bit. Sometimes I tilt it back and forth. And there is the consistency you get. So now I'll just show you this sponge as well. We'll tear up the 2 pieces. And we'll put it in here and we'll do the same thing. This one takes a little bit longer to grind up. Now this one's a bit more sticky getting out of it. It's got a bit more of a static electricity. Okay, so now we have this harder, more natural sponge. Now this one we're going to do a little bit of a different way of grinding it up in terms of like how long we grind it. This one can tend to bounce around a little more. So we're going to get that in there. Let's go ahead and press that down. You may actually have to take some of it out and just rearrange it a little bit and just kind of pulse it. It takes a little work. Now for the really fun one, the makeup brush. This one is very different, and you have to be careful with this because it can get really hot with how much you have to pulse this. So we're just going to go ahead and just drop that in. Cap that, and here we go. So the first thing I'll do is I'll actually blast it for a while. And just for doing that, we get a lot of big chunks, as you can see. Now that's not going to work for coarse turf. So, but if you need some like big clump foliage, you might be able to use that. So let's go ahead. We're going to let this run for a while, and then we're also going to be feeling for the heat because this can get a little hot. want to shake it up. This one you really got to work. And you can see we're already getting a smaller size, but we're not quite there yet. Pretty good. See, now I can definitely feel the heat. I know obviously you can't because you're watching the video, but there's definitely some heat there, so I'm gonna let it cool for a minute. And I'm just gonna break that up. Then we're gonna spin it again. Then we're gonna tilt it sideways and the key here is to get as many different pieces onto those blades, because a lot of times when you start spinning, you're just going to have the same pieces hitting over and over again. So we really just need to go at weird angles, all sorts of different things, just so we can shred it to the maximum. But again, I can already feel the whole body of the thing getting warm, so I'm not trying to overheat it. Okay, we've shredded pretty much everything in here to a different consistency, so let's go over what we have here. Now first, for the more organic sea spongy type thing right here, we really don't shred this too much, and then we get a little bit of more of the clump foliage type texture. So we get these larger chunks right here. Now, when we shred the manufactured sponge right here, the yellow, it's like kind of a really spongy cleaning sponge or painter sponge, we get more of the like smaller, kind of in between the bushes and the rough turf. So definitely you get something you can use as like an undergrowth or something. And we get a very similar item for the more organic sponge as well. Now, when you get the makeup sponge, it takes a little bit of a different process, obviously, but like you can see, we have the makeup sponge, and then we get this more granular that gets really more into our coarse turf territory. And that is one of the really, really good. This kind of was a little bit more difficult to get down to, but that's really what we get to. Now for this part, we're switching from the coffee grinder to the little cheapo blender. Now, I want to be clear that you can probably use this blender for the whole thing, but the coffee grinder I found just works a little bit better. Now, this is a cheap little battery-powered portable blender, and I'm going to link it all on Amazon, but let's go ahead and get this started. You'll also need some paper towels. You see I have that down right here. And we are going to start with our clump foliage. Now for paints, I've got just a few different ones right here. These are all some of the relatively cheap, whether it's Apple Barrel or the Crafter's Collection. They're fairly cheap. Now I have Foliage from Crafter's Collection and Spring Green from Crafter's Collection. We're going to use these separately. These are like 50 cents a bottle. And then we also have from Apple Barrel, we have Crisp Green and then Nutmeg Brown. Again, super cheap. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix this one a little bit darker. So I'm going to come in and just straight up do Foliage, and I'm just going to squirt it in. And that should be enough. And then I'm going to take a little bit of water, pour it in there as a mixer, and then we're just going to turn on the blender. I think we jammed it up a little bit too much there. Okay, so what's happened is basically one of the big chunks is jammed. There we go. Did some jamming up. We're going to go ahead and put our next round of materials. We're going to go with the synthetic stuff right here. This one should be a lot easier to dye. So basically we're just going to take all of that. And I'm actually going to squirt just a little bit. And so I'm going to squirt a little bit more. I'm going to put some, maybe, there we go. Put some spring green in there. Don't need much. And then I'm going to put more of the foliage in there. Now this should be a spectacular shred. Now for this, we're going to need a strainer and some sort of container. I'm going to put the strainer right here, and we're just going to open it up and pour it in. And you can see we got a really good consistency that's going to turn into some really good stuff. The process is pretty much the same for the rest of the materials. It's just a matter of which paint you are using. You're going to use different variations of the paint colors to achieve different results. I have found that doing a good solid darker green with a little bit of brown in there is going to give you a nice earthy color, and it just really depends on the time of year you're trying to model for the shade of green that you would want for this, or if you want green at all. So it really just comes down to what you want. And once I got these done, I knew it was going to take a little while to dry, so I just set them out to dry on these paper towels. Okay, it's taken about 36 hours for all of this to dry out. Some of the materials dried out faster than others. Let's go over what we got here. So we'll start off with the natural sponge, which actually probably needed some more shred time because you can see it just did not get really good pieces. You could certainly use this, but I don't think it's something you're going to put in front. So we're just going to go ahead and cast that one away. Now let's go to the artificial sponge. This was a yellow sponge. And we can see that while the paint mixed in, still a lot of that yellow came through. So I'm not sure. I probably should have used more paint, but the consistency is really good. I like that. And it does have a good enough color to think where I think it's usable in some cases. Definitely that early spring that you have where you're doing just like kind of like the trees are just budding and that kind of stuff. That's what that color reminds me more of. But yeah, now when we get into the more natural colored sponge, that's not this, but it looks like this, but it's sort of a brown, we really get some good color in here. And you can see this is really starting to look a lot like something you would get from Woodland Scenics. And I think the quality on this is definitely usable on a layout, as is right now. I think you'd have to probably be a little bit careful. I can bet that some of this would run soaking it with alcohol. But overall, this is just a fantastic consistency for clump foliage and undergrowth and everything. I would use this in a heartbeat on a layout. Now let's get to the last one. This is the one that took the longest to dry. It took over a day. And it's still, I think there's still some clumps that are a little, that one's a little wet. But we can see right now that I think that this one actually got the best result. I think that some of it still didn't quite get the dyes in, so maybe it needed a little bit more time to soak. But this is just straight up, this just looks like coarse turf. Like this you could use, that's actually, that I could use to model kudzu right there. It's got some stuff mixed in from the other ones because just by accident. But that I could straight up use to model kudzu. That just looks like model kudzu for me right there. At least at end scale, or something else that's growing by this. And it crumbles up just like coarse turf. So yeah, this is some good stuff right here. So the makeup sponge really did a great job. So if I'm looking at all of these right here, this is how I'm ranking. I'm saying don't use the natural sponges. You may have to really grind those up and cut those up. And those are also really rigid, so they don't give the best natural shape even when they're shredded. If you're doing something like this, I still have a piece of it over here, the yellow sponge that was this, then you're going to need to use a lot more paint than what I did. But you can probably still get a decent result, and you can get some nice bushes. The more natural colored stuff right here, that turned out pretty good. That looks like something that you can definitely use right there. I really like that. That's some good bushes and undergrowth. But the makeup sponge is really the one that just came out the best. And I'm going to put this stuff in here to use. And I think that this is something where I can get a really uniform color and do like kudzu covered hillsides and stuff with that for relatively cheap, because you can get a pack of those for like
$1 at the dollar store, or I guess $1.25 now for us, and then just get the 50-cent crafter's foliage and do that, and you're good to go.
Whether you're trying to save some money, make a massive amount of scenery, or just do some custom colored scenery, DIY scenic material may be a good option. Now, if you're looking for more scenery tutorials, including one similar to this where I made a tree using these techniques, you can check out those right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, and happy railroading.